Hello, and today I am with Desi Bergman, and she is the program director with NotMe California out of San Diego. Desi, how are you today?
I'm great, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you are, to put it lightly, you're a gun girl. You're out there on the left coast. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about your journey, and let's get into your program.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, John, for having me today. So, I am a California girl at heart. I was born and raised in Central California, where my dad was in the Sheriff's Reserve most of my life. And so, being a gun enthusiast is what I like to call us, has been something since I was very young. And we used to vacation in San Diego as kids because my uncle was in the Navy. And 15 years ago, I decided that I wanted to make San Diego my permanent home. So I packed my bags and made the move to Southern California, and don't regret it because it's beautiful down here. Of course, I'm looking outside and I can see sunny skies for days, which I love it down here. And I discovered San Diego County gun owners about 7 years ago. And it was funny because I actually had a friend that took me to a barbecue and introduced me to Michael Schwartz, who's our executive director. And Michael was like, "Hey, I've got this program where we're trying to help women. Would you be interested in potentially helping out?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. And lo and behold, 6 years later, I've been part of the program. So, Not Me SD, John, this is what we're here to talk about today. So, it's been around since 2019, and we help women who are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. This is something that April is a big part of because it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and that is why Not Me SD was founded back in 2019. And John, since then, we've actually helped over 1,500 women through our program. And you might say, Desi, well, what does helping women through the program mean? Well, I knew what you were going to say there.
You just took it out of my mouth. Desi, what does helping 1,500 women actually mean?
So we help women find an instructor, we help them pick out a firearm, and we also help them through the California Concealed Weapons Permit process. Because, yes, in California, we have a process that you have to go through to get your CCW. And so we really kind of started our foundation as helping women who've been victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. But Dawn, as you've kind of seen over time, there's been an evolution through like the gun industry to where women just really want to learn how to shoot. And so I would say probably out of that 1,500 women, maybe one in three are some type of, victim in a sense. But the rest of these women just come to us and they're like, Desi, I want to learn how to shoot. Like, I don't want to listen to my boyfriend, or they could be, single ladies like myself, and we just want to learn how to protect ourselves. And so they come to us looking for those answers.
Sure. So now, out of these 1,500 women that you've helped, do you see that there's like an attrition or the opposite of nutrition, I guess I should say, with people getting involved and saying, okay, now I'm in this, now I want to become an instructor? Or talk to me a little bit about some of that, because there's a lot of volunteer. This is mostly a
Yeah,
volunteer run organization. So
correct.
maybe talk a little bit about those aspects too.
Yeah, so I'd say there's a couple different kind of aspects about the program. You've got your women who just really want to learn how to, shoot a firearm for self-defense. And some of those women will go on to purchase their own firearms and to get their CCWs. And I love talking about this most recent success story where we had an individual who started coming to our shooting socials. And John's shooting socials are events that we do once a month where we just teach people how to shoot. It's inexpensive. They get paired with a mentor. And I love these events, John, because you see these new shooters who go from, oh my gosh, this is a firearm, to yes, I'm having so much fun on the range, right? And this individual started, and when she came, she was very timid. She didn't like to shoot. She was, so we really had to kind of introduce her into the firearms world very slowly. And over time, she got comfortable. She purchased her first firearm. And then I like to say when people do that, they kind of graduate to where that now we want them to come back and either be a mentor or an ambassador. And ambassadors are my volunteers that kind of help me with the Not Me SD program. And this individual, she started to kind of come around and first shadow the shooting socials. And then I kind of put her in and was like, all right, now I need you to mentor. So I started having her mentor, and, I could just kind of see her excitement and everything develop. And then now, John, she's reaching out to me like almost every month. I'm like, Desi, tap me in, coach. Like, I'm ready. I want a mentor. And so she's really kind of come full circle. Well, she was very scared and timid at first. And now she's reaching out to me every month, like wanting to help out more. And I love those success stories.
No, absolutely. Now, on your own personal journey, because you said you got heavily involved on the kind of the advocacy end about 7 years ago, and you were an enthusiast, as you say. Sounds like lifelong. You're an instructor too, aren't you?
I have all of my instructor certifications from the NRA, from USCCA, just because I am at the range a lot. I mean, I'm there at least twice a month with these different events that we do with the organization. I teach, but I don't. I really kind of took the instructor certifications because I wanted to be knowledgeable. And, we're always doing safety briefs. And, I will see like mentors. And if I don't think they're doing something right, or if I want to kind of help them along a little bit, then I kind of put on my little instructor hat and I help with this program. So maybe twice a month I'm instructing like 12 people from like a high level overview, right? And I love it. And I love teaching and I love helping these individuals that come to us because they just want to learn.
Sure. So now, do you have anything exciting coming down the line, that's coming up this month, next month, or this year, next year? Any programs that you guys are going to be launching that you want to discuss?
Definitely. So, with Sexual Assault Awareness Month being April, I always kind of pack the calendar with a lot of events. And I mean, we do different types of trainings throughout the year, but April is just a month where I have something going on every week. And one thing to kind of keep in mind too, John, with this evolution of Not Me, is we really become a resource to help women empowerment. And when I say that, self defense isn't a one size fits all tool, and firearms isn't for everybody. We always talk about firearms are an equalizer for women, but we also want to help women have more tools in their tool belts. Because, say, for some women, they might not want to carry a firearm because it's too scary, but we want them to have something to protect themselves if an event comes up. So, we like to kind of talk about situational awareness. And we also teach pepper spray, which we just had a class this past week where we had a group of about a dozen women and we were teaching them about being more aware in the situations, how to properly use pepper spray. And out of those events, like even though I've taught this event like so many times and we teach it with Alicia, who you know very well, I always walk away and I'm always like more aware of my surroundings. I put my phone away right when I'm walking to and from my car because I'm more situationally aware. We have a shooting social tomorrow, of course, which this is pure women. And this is, again, an event that we love to do every month. And then towards the end of the month, we have a firearm safety course to where we want to teach individuals kind of like the foundation of owning a firearm, from how do you transport it, how do you store it at home, and kind of like the list goes on. Like we're almost prepping them for that firearm safety test that they have to take. And that's going to be an amazing course. And again, it's just building that foundation and kind of going on top of that. And then I'm super excited to where we have a dinner at the end of every April. I've had our district attorney, John Summer Steffen, be my guest speaker. I've had our local sheriff, Kelly Martinez, be our guest speaker at these events. And this year, we actually have our governor candidate, Chad Bianco, who's the current Riverside sheriff, who's going to be my guest at a dinner at the end of the month. And so I'm super excited for that because he's running for California governor. If he has a chance, I really do hope so, because we want to take back California and make it red again. But I'm at least really excited to hear what he has to say about April and what women can do to potentially protect themselves more.
Sure. Now, we talked a little bit about the scaffolding because now there's a couple of programs here. There's Not Me SD, there's Not Me California. Can you break all that down for me? Explain like their 501c3s, 501c4s. What do we have going on here?
Yeah, so Not Me SD kind of does the late work. Think about that's what we do like on the day-to-day basis. That's what the program was founded on. We never want money to be a reason why someone can't protect them. And so we offer scholarships to women that come through the program firearms or they can't afford training. And we discovered a need for this a couple years ago to where we wanted individuals to be able to make tax deductible donations to the program to kind of help these women and guide them if they needed that funding available. And so we created NotMe CA as our nonprofit now, which is a 501c3. So that way people can make tax deductible donations to the program to help out.
Okay, that's perfect. And that was another question that I was going to say is like, what is the cost for these trainings for these women that's going through it? So it sounds to me like it's all, is it all scholarship based or
No,
is some of it subsidized by participants?
so I never want finance to be a reason why someone can't learn to
Sure.
protect themselves. So a lot of the different courses that we do, from the pepper spray and situational awareness to this firearm safety course, they typically are expensive, but I subsidize that cost a lot by working with different instructors around the county. So they're not expensive. I mean, they might be $10 to $20 depending on, like what we're offering. And so those are very inexpensive to kind of get that knowledge. When it comes to these different shooting events, again, we try to keep the cost where it's not expensive and anybody can afford it. But there are other situations where women don't have extra funding to, go through the program and purchase a gun or to even learn how to train. And that's where the scholarships come into play, is we want them to be able to go through the program. And so we kind of help with that cost. Now, the program itself, to apply to kind of start, getting your guidance and to start through the program, is completely free. But when it comes to some of these courses, that's where you might incur a little bit of cost.
Okay, perfect. Well, I guess where would you direct people to get all the information about what you're doing and how they can look you up?
Yeah. So to learn more about the program, just go to notmesd.org. You'll learn all about myself and the program. And if there's any questions, you can definitely reach out to us directly.
Okay, perfect. And any social media accounts we should be following or looking at as well?
Yeah, I mean, you can always follow our San Diego County Gun Owner social media account. We incorporate a lot of our stuff onto that account. You can follow myself. I'm always out there posting about different events as well, but that's the best way to learn more.
Perfect, Desi. Is there anything that I'm leaving on the table that you want to get out there to those that might be listening or watching this or reading, any articles based on this? What's your overall message?
No woman should ever feel powerless. At Not Me SD, we don't talk about just awareness. We give women the knowledge, the tools, and the confidence to protect themselves. So if danger comes, they have a choice. To learn more, go to notmesd.org.
All right, perfect, Desi. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate your time today. And I look forward to seeing you soon in Gun Rights Policy Conference in September.
I'll see you in September, John.
Take care.
Thank you.